Indeed, second half of the quarterfinals. A few have already moved on, Pedro and Ivan, for the first semi-final later on. Now it's Ehh and Dark going against each other, and then, as you mentioned, Rocket and Xeno, and off we go already with the Freddy here. Let's see what these two players are bringing up on the table. Is it going to be the early drop of the Shack palette, or are we coming out with a little bit more confidence here and trying to get a little bit extra distance? You can definitely make that happen. Actually, no, the life almost a little bit denied here with that very wonderful Dream Snare. You can just make a normal circle around, but the exhaustion perk now basically taken out without any extra benefit here. So pretty strong move by our killer to kick this off here. Well done by Eternity to start this off. Slow down once again, but that's not going to be enough distance to pick up. So we're just going to play a little bit of pallet break simulator. So far our survivor finding the perfect mix, I feel like, between a little bit of risk and really going for these safety checkpoints. Now the big chance for a mind game, but actually not successful, as that is going to be punishing. That is going to cost a lot.
You saw that swing out of frame was insane, by the way. That was kind of wild. That's for the compilations for sure. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is a clip-worthy moment. But yeah, like you said, unfortunately gonna waste a lot of time, but hits through the pallet this time. Said, you know what, full send it. Clearly playing a little bit safe and trying to swing and then last second back away. He was like, let me just full send it, and that was enough to get the hit. So gonna be looking to continue on right here though. This down looks like it's gonna happen potentially very soon right here. Back to the bus, but no pallet. You do have this window though. Well, I wonder what the, oh my god. Oh, okay, wait. Did Ehh mind game himself potentially? Like potentially went somewhere else that we weren't expecting, and Dark is like all the way over here. Yeah, really unfortunate. Still makes the window though with the, oh, you still medium vault because of the hindered, right?
I feel like our Freddy does really need to get the, yeah, okay, finally he does get it, because I feel like Ehh has punished himself a lot, and before we are going on a run for an eternity in these dark times, finally we are going to see the down here. But that was punishing, especially the one that he was missing on this very weak pallet early on, where he then realized, I feel like that's why he swung somewhere to not take the stun as well. But yeah, that was just punishing, because you allowed the survivor to make it back towards the midsection of the map, right? Giving access to a few filler pallets. And without exaggerating here, I feel like on that missed mind game that needs to be a hit, at least in the quarterfinal later on, that was easily 30 to 40 seconds just straight up gifted towards the survivor. And that is something that you cannot do anymore when you're playing among the best 16.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, a lot of these mistakes are, they get punished very, very, very hard. But yeah, I mean, like there were a lot of moments where I feel like Eternity lost Dark in certain situations, and yeah, like you said, those times are gonna add up slowly but surely. Like if that little, once you break that pallet and Dark goes back to Fun Bus after the pallet's already been broken, that little like buffer, just losing Dark and then making it all the way back. I mean that time adds up eventually, right? So really unfortunate to see for sure. Honestly, potentially could have been even longer time if that hit through the pallet never happened. So definitely a little bit unlucky. But now we're gonna get started. This is the first set. The strong David over here looking to cook a little bit right now against Dark's killer. Dark having a pretty good time in ladder this season. I think like he's only lost like 8 times or something like that, according to someone in chat, if they're correct. So very that's a really good track record. I mean, you're probably also only losing to like some of the top players in ladder too. So still kind of looping this around. Gets the swing though, no one home for it. Can we potentially see still no life and no finesse as well? We see the resi coming in now, and yeah, I mean obviously this hindered right here. You still have Shack pallet, and you still don't get the fast fall, so you don't really get to close the distance or open up the distance as much because of the Freddy power. Honestly, just seeing this Freddy play, like that's just like, man, Like, this is such a good killer. This is like a much better killer in chase now than what it used to be, like you said. Not getting bullied as hard, and potentially gets the window here. Still makes the fastball, but this is an easy double back. Potentially could be the swing right here. Yeah, gonna get the hit.
Hit coming out, but on a time that you can definitely live with. It's around about the halftime here, a little bit after the halftime even on that hit. So Eternity not going to feel too bad about it, but we are also going to be in a difficult spot of mind games now, especially with the hinder. But look at that patience and the caster curse right afterwards. Goodbye, Eternity. Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, that was so unlucky.
That's the family of Eternity can contact me for some compensation.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you've been caster cursed, if you or a loved one has been caster cursed by Direwolf in DBDLeague, you may be eligible for financial compensation. So, you know, just in case. Anyone in chat, just let us know. You can DM Direwolf. Figuring it out with him, right? But unfortunately, that is going to be... Yeah, claim something. Direwolf is like, you get a pat on the back or something. I don't know, but I want to refund shots to the chat, man, for real. But yeah, I mean, now that's game one going to Dark, and now going to the Pig again. So now starting to see some more Pig. I love watching Pig 1v1s. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, ooh, a little bit of an issue right here.
Seems like we have a little bit of a lobby crash. We should be fine. We're just going to re-invite everyone and setting it up again. So today we have actually been plagued a little bit more with the lobby and server issues than yesterday. So let's all hope that we are making it smoothly through the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, hopefully we can power through a little bit quicker, but not really sure what's going on here. But obviously, you know, just kind of fixing some stuff on the on the side back in the background. So but again, shout outs to everyone who's been watching all weekend. Obviously, we've been playing 1v1s since early yesterday, and now now we're kind of approaching approaching the top 4 right now, playing the quarterfinal matches. So the stream's been going on for a little under 5 hours. So if you've been here since the beginning of the day today, thank you for being here. I hope you guys have been enjoying these matches. It's been really fun to watch. Even before I hopped on the mic with you, Dyer, like it's been really cool to see these matches so far. So I think we have just so much more in store for us, not just for us, not just for the players, but for the people watching at home as well. So I think we're gonna get fully set up right here, and yeah, no, instead of the Pig, we are gonna get Doctor, which I believe is what you guys had mentioned earlier as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting journey so far with this event, right? Because honestly, we as DBDLeague are totally inexperienced when it comes to 1v1 event. It is not something that we are hosting. We hosted one 1v1 event in the past. It was a 1v1 team event that we definitely want to bring back. So basically 4 survivors had to share one map, and we accumulated their chase time, and then it was the killer from the other team going against 4 back-to-back chases on the same map, and the survivors had to split all the resources and make a strategy. Is survivor number 1 dropping all the pallets, or are we saving it? That was the only experience that we had so far on 1v1 events. Besides that, we never hosted anything like this, and therefore we appreciate all the support, and we also appreciate if you guys have feedback about this, what we can learn from for future 1v1 events, then please drop it in the Discord server in the channel League feedback. Now Eternity here with a good early hit, that's for sure. That's going to be something that Dark is going to feel really positive about this quickly into the trial. You also have to sacrifice the shark pallet now, but the safe than sorry after taking an injury like that. We are now approaching the 1 minute mark here, making sure hopefully that we are going more towards the 2 minute mark. But after dropping this pallet, this tile here can be tricky when the Doctor would opt to go for the mind games and the shock, but he just removes that pallet from the battlefield. Therefore Eternity just holding W is the window over here, opting to hold it a little bit longer, trying to get back towards the pallet here. Our Doctor anticipating that, and that should be the down right there. Unfortunate run here. Doctor really on point with the zoning, perfect anticipation what resources will be used, and the shocks then just following in the same perfection. Very well played by Dark here. 125, that's a pretty good time.
Yeah, pretty good time, specifically because I feel like the Doctor set, because Doctor is one of those killers who can close the distance very, very quickly, which means the chases naturally are supposed to be a lot shorter, right? So usually we see like 50 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like 50 seconds, maybe a minute. So a minute 25, definitely very, very good for sure. Obviously, Dark, definitely locked in for sure. He could definitely come up with a little bit of a longer time as well, though, at the end of the day. So we're gonna have to see what ends up happening. Eternity has been playing so well. Obviously having a crazy run so far. Beat Jiggy round 1 and then beat PXBX. Both of those going to the tiebreaker as well. So obviously Dark winning the first set. So if Eternity wants to continue on to this run, it's gonna have to force another tiebreaker, and it's gonna come down to this and how much he can close the distance and how short he can make this chase onto Dark.
Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of pressure here on the shoulders of our players. The Doctor, so far Dark with the 1-0 and might be able to just take the win here. 125 is something that is pretty winnable, and you can feel really, really confident, I feel like, when you know that the win condition is 125 here. Does save the Shack pallet for a little bit later, wants to make distance for now. The question is, does he have a clear target? Because right now he's moving here without a pallet just in reach this window over here. And yeah, he does make it, but the injury is going to cost him a bit. 30 seconds at the moment, a little bit above that. So it is going to be a quite tricky run. Once again, we're here just operating with distance and the time resulting from that. Not too much with any safety, but we're making it back towards the Shack now. And that's going to be enough distance to drop the Shack pallet as well. Very needed safety, if you're asking me.
100%. I feel like that. You tried to get the finesse life ball, and that ended up costing you a health state as well, which is definitely not according to plan, right? Like ideally, if you get a finesse life, then you can at least extend your first hit another 15 seconds. But now we're just closing the gap slowly but surely. Is this going to be enough to meet the win condition? I think it potentially might. I'm not 100% sure, but man, this is going to go down to the wire right here. $120. Well, we need a confirmation from our video assistance referees there. But I think that is a tie, right? 124, 125. That would be a tie regardless. So it is a tie. Oh my god. So that means we have to replay it? Is that what that means?
We have to replay it. Yeah,
oh my god.
Replay it indeed.
Oh my god, that's crazy. So, yeah, that's insane for sure. That's pretty sick. And we're running it back. Another chance at life if you're Eternity. I feel like that first hit came at a pretty good time, but I think the life ended up being just making it all the way to the truck. Honestly, I think that might have been enough to at least set him in that tie condition. So but yeah, now we're going to the tiebreaker, or to the tie. I mean, we're just gonna replay the set. Sorry y'all, but man, this is crazy. Like
and real quick for everyone at home as an explanation. So before everyone is now clipping this and then frame perfectly trying to figure out who ran 40 milliseconds longer or shorter, we have a rule, 1 second difference, and it does ignore the milliseconds even. So if the timer says 1:29.1 and the timer says 1:39, then basically that is also still considered within the 1 second reach. So the seconds themselves need to be two different. So 1:28, 1:30, or 1:40, 1:42. Everything else is a tie. First, because we don't want to sit here pixel perfect, and then we argue also, when does the chase really start? Was that a teabag already? Do we start at the down of the teabag when the survivor is touching the ground? Or is it going to be as soon as the player hits the control key and so on? So if you want to win, you need to be 2 seconds ahead of your opponent. And we know that from other sport, right? Tennis, for example, you need to be 2 points ahead. So it's nothing that is completely crazy here. 2 seconds is something that we can expect when you want to be one of the best and want to knock out your opponent. Dark here trying to move around the pallet. Actually, the shock doesn't find the target, and that is giving him also the chance to move away from the tile since there was a slowdown on the Doctor. This might be punishing for eternity.
Yeah, not able to make it to that pallet to drop it. The hit's gonna come pretty soon. No, still able to actually get through. Man, this is so scary. I mean, the tag has to happen now, but I feel like a lot of time was wasted. And yeah, I mean, that was like 2 or 3 shocks in a row that Eternity missed, unfortunately. So Dark able to actually, you know, make it through back into the mid map, and now going into some other tiles here potentially. So this might be a better time than what he put up earlier. So yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, after getting the tiebreaker, Dark realizing I simply just need to throw a better time out there, and Dark is responding to that accordingly. And you know, like obviously already way past the 1 minute and a half mark. So gonna have to see. The down is probably gonna happen pretty soon here, just because again, this is Doctor. At the end of the day, still, yeah, gets down right there. Yeah, that is a much better a time that Dark has set. 1:59, so almost 2 whole minutes right there. That might be a tough ask, I'm not gonna lie.
That is a tough task indeed, yeah. Running a little bit longer here, 2 minutes this time, so 35 seconds in addition to the first one. Now it's the chance for Eternity. First, the obligation for Eternity to bring up at least 30 seconds to the table. But now also, right, because we have to replay, these players know each other a little bit now. They have just played Doctor against each other, so they now know how risky are they playing, how are they chaining the tiles together. If I'm going into the shock with the Doctor, do I potentially have the chance faking someone out with the shock? Are they then immediately rotating to the next tile, or are they running this tile to the very end? These are all information that you got from the first matchup here, that you can obviously use now for the tiebreaker that we need here. Eternity coming in with the Giga Chat David outfit will hopefully carry him towards the semi-final. It is going to be Dark in the advantage here, has the set point already, increased the time in comparison to the first set, and off we go. Will it be 2 minutes and 1 second for Eternity, ladies and gentlemen, or are we saying goodbye? That's the question here before we are going in the quarterfinal 4 between Xeno and Rocket. So insane matches ahead here. So far, keeping it safe. Better sacrificing the Shack Bullet immediately, now going for the distance here. Definitely understand why Eternity is picking the safe approach.
Yeah, definitely the safe approach right here, but that bamboozle and that shock is going to be more than enough to get that tag right there. A much earlier tag, if I'm not mistaken, than what we saw Dark put up earlier. And like you said, playing it very safe, understanding that if you take risks, that could be the end of your win con. But does get the Lithe, but no finesse, obviously, because he's injured. So you know, that small, you know, amount of time does add up eventually. So able to still at least get this pallet drop. can you get do you get mind game here? That's gonna be the question of the day. Oh my god, you get hit through the window anyways.
Oh, I would text behavior right now.
Oh, that is so unlucky. I'm not gonna lie. It felt like he was completely over the window and actually able to move and still got hit over the window.